What's up, guys? The Fresh Movement on Party 101.9 Radio. We have the beautiful, the talented Bahja Rodriguez in the building. What's up, Bahja? How you feeling?
Hi, guys. I'm feeling pretty good. How are y'all feeling?
We good.
Good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Let people know where you're from and your age.
So my name is Bahja Rodriguez. I am 24 years old, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And I love music, and I make music.
That's what's up. So what made you want to become a singer?
So pretty much I've been singing ever since I can remember. Like ever since I was younger, I've had like a big infatuation with music and performing, singing. And I just kind of like, would do it in school. I would always sing at like plays and, like recitals and stuff like that. But I actually got my start in the industry, when I was 12. So yeah, I've been singing all my life, but industry wise, I've been a part of the music industry since I was 12.
That's what's up. That's what's up. The OMG Girlz, correct?
Yes.
So me and mostly Mary.
We're about to get to it.
Me and Mary B are super fans of the OMG Girlz. Like
I just kind of ask you, like, you've been a part of so many tours that involve mindless behavior, Diggy Simmons. You were part of the OMG Girlz. How does it feel to have started a new music era? Like, do you ever think back and be like, wow, like you guys were really taking over at one point?
I kind of do, but I guess I more so think about it like, wow, we were able to do something, that like Black kids got to be a part of and see some type of like representation within themselves. Like, I think a lot of times, when we would look at like, just like child artists and like girl groups and stuff like that, like they would kind of be older than us, or if you look at like a pop star or anything like that, they wouldn't be like Black, they might be a different race. So I kind of look at it as like just we were really instrumental, especially OMG, we were very instrumental. And I think just Black kids, really, especially Black girls, but just Black kids in general, just being themselves and being who they are. We wore what we wanted, and we wore our hair how we wanted to wear our hair.
Right.
And we were just very like fearless when it came to, just expressing ourselves and being who we are. And I think a lot of people at that time, like when we dyed our hair, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't believe their moms let them do that. That's so ghetto, and this, and that, and the third. But it's like now I look around and I see so many like female rappers and Instagram girls and, so many people just playing with color. And I'm just like, wow, like it's so good to see that like we were able to be a part of some type of influence and, just having Black girls and Black women like experiment with their hair. Like I think that was just such a big part of the brand.
Right.
Now, was it difficult? Because I know we're all in like our early 20s, but I know like you growing up in the spotlight, that must have been super difficult. I know social media, I think Instagram was just around, correct?
Yeah.
Like around. So like, how was that experience for you?
That I would actually say that honestly, when I was younger, I definitely would like go back and forth on Twitter with people oftentimes. I've had just some crazy experiences with social media. But I just think honestly, like if anything, it built a tougher skin for me. And I'm glad too that I was so young in the industry because I had what am I trying to call it? Like kind of like media training, like you're not gonna find any tweets of mine that people could cancel me for, Like I feel like since I've been doing this since I was a child, like I've just known like what to say and what not to say. And not even what to say and what not to say, but what's the right thing to say, And I mean, how to like get your point across and stuff. So I mean, I think being young and being on social media, it was pretty cool, and it definitely was like a learning experience for me. I kind of like go back and forth and do that whole thing, but I don't really do that anymore. I just like promote my stuff and talk to,
right.
TV, and that's it.
I feel you.
As an independent artist who, once was part of a kids girl group, do you find that now it's harder to kind of venture into, more mature music, more sexy? Do you still feel like people kind of still box you in that OMG Girlz category?
I think certain people do. I think like even like, now, like, I get like, I think certain people do, but I think I have done so well with creating a lane for myself and a fan base for myself. And like my Instagram that I had when I was in the OMG Girlz, it got deleted. and I was like at like 700K or something like that. So it got deleted, and I totally had to like rebuild my brand outside of that. And now I'm at like 400 something K. So I feel like those are the people who are actually following me for me, and not because, oh, she was in this big girl group and, you know, like now she does her own music. I think it's been some difficulties to it, but in terms of the music and the sound, I don't really think that was a hard transition to make because, you know, I am a grown woman. So, you know,
period.
So the subjects that, you know, I'm talking about and the way that I dress and the way that I present myself, this is how I would present myself in, you know, anyway. So I don't really think it was a hard transition in terms of music and style to be more mature and make a more mature step, because I feel like I am mature, you know, so it wasn't really, it's kind of difficult, but not really.
And I got one last like OMG question before
I was gonna hit one too. Go ahead.
But like, cause I know a million people want you guys to get back together or like do like a song or something.
Or finish Loverboy or So Official, because those are my.
I know.
Right. So like, what are you gonna say to those fans? Anything like in the future for that, or not right now?
Yeah, like not right now. I don't foresee any like music from the girls and I like coming out anytime soon. I don't really foresee us like getting back together anyway. And I kind of think all of us are in different spaces now too. Like, you know, I'm doing my music and I'm, you know, going hard with my brand, and, you know, Zanique is about to be a mother.
How does that feel for you?
Bree is like just finding her way as well and doing her music. And I think all of us are in different places. I always tell them, I'm like, it would be so weird for us to come back out and be OMG Girlz at like 20, almost 25, 26, you know, because they're turning, Bree and Zanique are turning 25 and 26 in March. So, and I'll be 25, you know, next year too. So I'm just like, I don't really know like how that would translate, but I don't really foresee it. I think it was just the era. And I think like our fan base and just people who are a fan of us, I think that they should just appreciate just that era. Like, I feel like we came and did what we were supposed to do. And I do feel like we could have did more, but, you know, for whatever God's reasoning for, you know what I'm saying, that not being the case, that's fine. But I think it was just an era. It was just a moment in time. And, you know, I really honestly wouldn't want to even mess up the brand and what we brought to the table, you know, at that time. So that
makes sense. Right. All right, guys, we got more of Bahja, so make sure you guys keep it locked. All right, guys, we are back to Fresh Movement on Party 101.9 Radio. We are still joined in by Bahja Rodriguez. Yeah. Bahja, how are you feeling?
I'm still feeling good, still feeling excited. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, guys, for, you know, interviewing me and stuff. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Now, Bahja, you released an EP recently called Hold You Over.
Yes.
You kind of talked about going through heartbreak, and then you talked about going in love. So I kind of want to know, girl to girl, how do you get over heartbreak and prepare yourself for that next lover boy?
You know, honestly, you asked me how do I deal with a heartbreak?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, the way I deal with a heartbreak, and, you know, I've never really, like, I guess had a true heartbreak, you know what I'm saying? But just dealing with, like, heartbreak in general, I think the best thing that you could do is just pour into yourself. Like, just love on yourself, be there for yourself, do nice things for yourself, take yourself to do nice things. I think that's the best thing. Like, you know, even right now with me, like, I'm doing more things by myself, just pouring into me. You know what I'm saying? I think the best thing that you could do for yourself during a heartbreak, and it's kind of hard to not, like, focus on the person who broke your heart or whatever, but you kind of got to try to just find your new normal and figure out, like, how to move and live life without that person, because it's possible and you can do it. Like, you don't have to just this one person who broke your heart, like, for whatever reason that happened, like, that person is not for you. So, you know, you just got to pour into yourself, figure out what you need, and just move forward. Do nice things for yourself, do nice things with yourself and with your friends, and just get back to, like, feeling yourself, you know?
I know that you, like, have been putting out music since 2015. Like, Jealous Type, I have the Love EP. The Love EP, the visual, that was fire. That was fire. You have Necessary. You have Take Three, My Life, Unavailable, Rockstar. Those are fire too.
Thank
you. You got Cold as Winter, Is This Love? Like, you stay putting out bangers. So I really got to give you your props. Especially, like, I feel like it's so hard to kind of, like, be like you had a group and then like coming out of that and then like releasing music like every year, every era. I feel like that's super dope. So big like pat on the back to you, because a lot of artists nowadays aren't even releasing anything.
Oh, thank you.
So the fact that you have consistently kept putting out music is super dope.
Wow, I thank you first off for like, you know, listening to the music, all of you guys. But thank you so much. I love music. You know, I was just telling my fans just the other day on live. I'm like, you know, I was doing music when it made me no money. I've been doing music when it makes me a little bit of money. I've been doing music when it makes me a lot of money. Like for me, it's not about the money. I actually have like a real genuine passion for music. And I feel like I have something, you know, to say to the world and to people my age and even people, you know, far beyond my age. So, you know, I love music. Like that's just, like I just love it.
I feel you, because this business is very shady at times. So
and even though you're trying to get away from like the OMG Girlz box, I've heard in your song Bigger off the EP, I heard the Loverboy reference. What did you like? How did that come about? I know you got to kind of always go back to your roots. So how did that come about? Was that just for like a taste for the fans?
You know what? I just feel like it was familiar. And honestly, like when I was writing the song, I'm just like, this shit would just be hard to put right here. Because people know it. People ask me about it. And I think when you hear Loverboy, it's like this song about, you know, really liking this guy, but not wanting to wait on him. You know, so I felt like with Bigger, you know, I'm basically telling him like, I don't even want you no more, you know? And I don't know, I just felt like the melody and stuff was like really cool to kind of play off of. It wasn't, I don't think it was anything like that I really was like, oh, you know, like let me put this on here because I know people been asking about Loverboy. It was just kind of something I did in the moment. And then like everybody who was in, because I record in this room. So everybody who was in here with me, they was like, oh, that's it. You got to put that in there.
Right.
So I was like, I'm like, y'all don't think? They're like, no, put that in there. Like,
yes, right move. I love that.
They're like, dang, I love how you flip that. Like, that was pretty cool. So it wasn't an intentional thing, but I just felt like, I don't know. I just felt like that would be hard.
Yeah, and you engineered it, correct? Like you engineered some of your stuff?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Your biggest musical inspirations?
Oh, my musical inspirations, like just really all the OGs, like Brandy, Monica, Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige. I love like girl groups too, like 702, Xscape. Obviously, I think they're really good vocally. I like 3LW just cause, you know.
Me too. Shout out to 3LW. People don't think in 3LW their props.
Yeah. I mean, musical influence. I love Janae. I'm just speaking like just women, like just people that I'm fans of. Love Janae, Aaliyah, Beyonce, love Destiny's Child. I love her. Summer Walker, I would love to do something with her. I think like her vibe and her sound is just incredible. I like Ella too. I think Ella would be cool to do something with her. Snow Allegra. I think it's Kiana Lede. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's how you pronounce it. Love her stuff too. Kalani, I love her stuff. It's just like a lot of women that I try not to like, I listen to keep myself current, but I try not to listen too much because I also do music. So I don't ever want my music to sound like any of my peers. I'm sure all of, you know, like everybody, all the women who do music, like, of course they listen and they're fans of other women. Like I'm fans of all of these women, you know, but I definitely like to keep some sort of individuality within.
I feel that.
That's important. Do you seek or have you sought music advice from Tiny? I know Tiny was the one that put OMG Girlz together. You know, she was an Xscape for, you know, the duration of Xscape. You know, they had a brief comeback. So has she been a mentor to you as you've broken off into your own lane, or was it like maybe in the past?
Not since I've broken off into my own lane. Like her and I actually don't talk about my music just outside of her being like, oh, like I like your song, you know, whatever. Okay. But definitely when I was in a group, I think that she just helped a lot, like with my studio etiquette, how to be in a studio, how to, you know, like come in, just certain things about the industry that you're supposed to know. Those are like things that she taught me. She taught me about like publishing and, you know, all of these different things, like as a songwriter, just being like a child back then and kind of like growing up now, you know, and doing my own thing. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, like this is what she was talking about with the publishing. This is what she was talking about with my royalty, you know, like, so certain little like industry insiders that, you know, I think you kind of only learn by experience. Like those are like things that she helped me with. And I kind of was able to get around certain things because of the prior knowledge that I had. You know, so definitely when I was in a group, she was more of a mentor. But I think now that I've been a solo artist, like I wouldn't really say at this point I have like a mentor. I just have like certain people that like I vibe with and they teach me things. Like my god sister Libby, she used to write for us in OMG, but she still writes. She does her own music. She's done music with me on Is This Love. She wrote like Mood and MVP and, you know, all that stuff. So her and I still work together. And, you know, like my producer Valley, Jay Reed, my bro Kyron, like these are people who just bring musically, they bring something different out of me. So
right. All right, guys, we'll be back with Bahja. All right, guys, we are back to Fresh Movement on Party 101.9 Radio. Bahja still in the building with us. Thank you again, Bahja, for being a part of the Fresh Movement.
Thank y'all for having me.
So I want to like kind of like dive into the EP. I kind of wrote these notes. Like it went from like I don't play games to like Hard to Love Them, then Don't Play Me, I Ain't 2K, and then you went from like He's Begging, I Need You, and then it went like, you know, it ended with Smooth. So I felt like at the end, like the end, first the EP it kind of started with saying like I'm cool, like I'm better than you, like I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
And like at the end it was kind of like, you know, you talking that good talk, but at the end of the day, like I'm still that bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, was that right? Was that the vibe you were going for?
Yeah, I mean, like the vibe for me with this EP, honestly, like I recorded a lot of these songs during quarantine. And like a lot of these songs are like just based off of like arguments that I would be having like with my boyfriend. And I just kind of like, I don't know, I tell him all the time, like, you know, I'm gonna write a song about it. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. But, you know, I just really, I believe in like really speaking the truth in my music. And, you know, because I'm not like a big talker and like, you know, if I don't really know you, I'm not gonna like vent and express myself to you. So I feel like people who don't know me, they're still able to get to know me and get to know how I am emotionally as a person when they listen to my music. And I honestly feel like that's the only place where I could like really be transparent and like just pop it, I guess, the way that I would,
right,
pop it, you know, in a normal conversation. Because if you're telling somebody in a normal conversation, like, you know, I don't want you back, you know, that's a fact. And, you know, like I just went bigger on you, basically.
Right.
You know, like that's not going to come off the same way that it came off in the song. So it's just like a way that I express myself. And I think with the EP, like my whole vibe was just like, you know, my fans, they love when I talk about like heartbreak and love and, you know, the peaks and valleys of love and different types of love, situationships, lustful situations, like they love all of that. So I just try to, you know, talk about different situations that I'm going through or people that I know is going through.
Right.
Has it been hard for you to go through these experiences and also be in the public eye at the same time?
It definitely is really hard. And I kind of think about it all the time. And that's why like I try to be very private with my relationships and like even with, you know, my boyfriend now, like I don't even really post him like that. But I just try to keep it very private because I feel like when you make things public and already living in the public eye and kind of just being under this microscope since I've been a little girl, you know, it's like you never want people to feel like entitled to know anything. And I feel like the less people know, the less entitled they feel to know anything. Like with my fans, you know, they know what I share, you know, and I try to be transparent as I possibly can, but it's also a sense of privacy that I still, you know, maintain within my life and in my personal life. Like I don't really like to bring, you know, my relationship problems or what I have going on with friends or family or people in my life. Like I don't really like to bring that.
Absolutely.
That's real.
Into the world, onto Instagram, on my story, talking about how this man did X, Y, and Z. You know, I just like to just put it in my music. But it definitely, it is a little bit hard, but I think when you kind of put up a wall, like, okay, this is my music, this is where I'm express how I'm feeling, and this is my personal life, and I'm not going to be getting on here.
And don't mix up the two.
Back and forth with y'all about what's going on. It kind of like, you know, gives you a barrier.
Right. So what do you say to the people who kind of were, because over social media, as I was looking, I seen a lot of people had things to say about this recent celebration that you had for Regine's birthday party. A lot of people were saying like there were no masks and things like that. Can you kind of clear the air on that?
I really can. I definitely can. So, of course, walking into the party and kind of like first arriving at the party, a lot of the videos and stuff that people saw was like from the beginning of the party. I definitely will say there were people in there with no mask on. However, I put a mask on once I was done taking my pictures and whatnot, you know, and I got done making my Instagram videos. It was funny because people in the section that we were in, they was like, look at you with the mask on. I'm like, yeah, child. Like, I don't know. It's not. But I think, honestly, you know, it's kind of a little hypocritical in a sense because so many people who were like in our comments and in, you know, my friends' comments and even, you know, Zani's comments just with her about to be a mother and that whole thing. Like, I think it's hypocritical because everybody went home for Thanksgiving, or most people that I saw participated in big Thanksgiving things. I've seen people out. Several people have come to Atlanta to go out. So I think it's kind of like people just wanted something to say, which is totally fine. But I can only speak for myself personally. And me personally, once I got done taking my pictures, you know, my mask was on. And that's not really something that I'm gonna like post like, oh, I'm in the club with the mask on. Like, see,
right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like if you was there in the function, you saw me with the mask on. I walked out with it on. And I just don't really feel like I should have to wear a mask if I'm taking pictures. I think it's important to wear a mask, you know, once you're done doing what you're doing. But the whole entire time, like, at least I wasn't in there without a mask on. I can't really speak.
Right.
But respectfully.
Well, Bahja, I mean, you guys have any last questions because we're like running out of time.
How can we keep up with you?
Oh, yeah.
You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bahja Rodriguez. That's BahjaRodriguez. And you can go to my website to see my YouTube and all my music and everything else. www.BahjaRodriguez.co. And all my music is available on all streaming platforms. You're able to buy it as well. Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal. So go check me out, Bahja Rodriguez. And my new EP, Hold You Over, is out. The link is in my bio on Instagram and Twitter. So make sure you check it out.
Anybody listening, like you guys, I've watched Bahja at Once Was in Park. I think I went there. I had a whole line. And the fact that I think 5 years later, maybe not 5 years later, maybe like 10. But 10 years later, like, the fact that I'm not able to interview Bahja is crazy. Like, just keep following your dreams. Keep, like, hustling, grinding. Like, it can happen.
Absolutely.
So thank y'all so much for the interview. I appreciate it.